1/3 of Small Time Critics, and I am here with
Kem.
Let's go. Mo again is not here at the moment, but we'll be back very, very soon. And as you can see from the thumbnail, we are reviewing a real surprise of the year. A real surprise of the year in Rebel Ridge, directed by Jeremy Saulnier. A film on Netflix. And before we get into it, before we start chopping it up, I just wanted to say, please like, comment, subscribe. Road to 1,000. Let's go. And yeah, please throw some comments in there. Please engage with us. Engage with the takes. Please, obviously comment on how I'm right and how Kemi is always wrong. And let's get into it. Kemi, Rebel Ridge, film on Netflix. I am very high on this, as you can already tell from the intro. Kem, give me a spoiler-free review.
This movie was a surprise. Had no real sort of. It was never on my radar. Never on my radar. Before I had to watch it.
Who put it on your radar?
A friend of mine. To be fair, it wasn't you. I promise you, it wasn't you. Someone else did. I promise you, someone else did.
It was me.
It wasn't you. It was not you.
Who put you on?
I think it was Dan. Dan put, again, a friend of mine called Dan. He put it on my radar because what he said, Rebel Ridge, because he's a big Jack Reacher fan, and he said this is basically a Jack Reacher kind of movie. And I said, okay, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. So you don't try to take credit where credit's not due. Yeah, no, honestly, I enjoyed it. This is one of, again, he's like I'll say an ex. Is he an ex? Army person,
he's a Marine.
He's an ex-Marine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give ex-Marine. Basically trying to save his cousin from being incarcerated, so trying to post bail, and obviously with all the forces trying to prevent that from happening. This is one of corruption within the American sort of judicial system as well. And he has to sort of navigate his way through the backwoods of America to
Louisiana
to make right what's wrong in a fashion that is not one of blood, guts, and is pure hand to hand. Again, it's a fantastic. It was a pleasant surprise. A good movie. There are some issues that I found with this, but it's not major issues. But yeah, no, it's a good movie, man. It's one I definitely want to sort of chop up, like spoiler in a spoiler sense, yeah. But non-spoiler, that's all I've got.
Okay, so this film is a film about a kind of legal loophole in America, which is horrible, called civil asset forfeiture, where the police can basically take any money you have on the pretense where they think that you could be doing a crime with it. And the way the film kind of obviously critiques that and goes into how this is such a horrible thing in American kind of law and kind of justice is extremely well done, in my opinion. This is a film which is basically a Western in many ways. Basically, a guy comes in, our protagonist comes into town, and sees something that's bad that's happening and wants to do something right about it. And it's fantastic. And also, our protagonist essentially is Batman in many ways. And you're looking at me like, what does he mean by that? And I mean by the fact that throughout this film, our protagonist doesn't kill one person, but does kick a lot of ass. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I can't wait to get into that. This film is a film by Jeremy Saulnier, who wrote, directed, and edited the film. And his previous films, Murder Party, Green Room, and Blue Ruin, are some of the greatest thrillers out there. Even Hold the Dark, which, again, is a film which I didn't really connect with that much. That he released on Netflix a couple of years back. Still has a great final act and kind of action set piece towards the end. But this film was fantastic. And again, it's had a very kind of fraught kind of a production beforehand, which was very, very complicated, which we'll get into towards the end. But for me, this film literally gave us the goods. It's an action kind of thriller. It has something to say, which is fantastic. The acting is great. It's so smart and so tight in regards to the story. You know what I'm saying? apart from a kind of a bit of kind of bloat in the second act, but other than that, an outstanding film which I cannot wait to get into.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right,
So,
cool.
Should we get into some spoilers?
Let's get into it. So obviously, if you want to go watch this movie before listening to our spoiler take, definitely do that. Pause it and come back and continue from here, this point onwards. So Rebel Ridge, again, I really enjoyed the actions. There are, again, my issues, certain issues, it's not really issues, it's like just annoyance, like bugbears. The American sort of, the Americanizing in regards to sort of movies, like sort of really sort of making something bigger than what something is in certain aspects. When he was chasing down the bus and the whole fist pump thing, that really bothered me. That didn't do nothing for me but thinking, what was that about? And on top of that, he was riding so slow through the woods. Like, how are you catching this bus riding? Yes, I know it gives the like the whole sort of essence of like a ex-Marine, and he's resourceful, stuff like that. But the whole sort of fist, like the spider and everything through the bus, and yeah,
he's trying to inspire his cousin, bro. What I'm saying.
His cousin,
and also, why you hating?
Wait.
Why you hating?
No, hold up. Let me talk.
You're a hater.
Hold up. His cousin is incarcerated. His cousin's going to the pen. What sort of inspiration is he gonna give him?
That he's gonna get him out before it's too late.
His cousin don't even realize the severity of the situation. So anyway, that was my annoyance. I was like, come on, man! Like it's only like a fist.
For all the things for you to be annoyed.
It's only like a fist bump, man. You're doing all of that for a fist bump.
You're picking nits, Cam.
I am picking nits. It's one of those
film.
weekend. Overall, great movie. Obviously we're in the spoiler territory, so from the jump, from when he got knocked off his bike, yeah, I thought that was fantastic. And obviously his demeanor and how he handled that situation, you knew this guy was about that life. You just didn't know the extent.
Yes.
And I love the way they told the movie. They told that story without telling us. You knew he was about that life.
Yeah.
And then obviously the whole corruption element and how they did that, and then being put in a situation where, like, literally, if you mess with this, you mess with my money right now, there's going to be repercussions in regards to someone's going to die and family member. So that was a brilliant story to tell. The way they navigated it in regards to sort of getting to that point, obviously it's a commentary, or it's a critique on the American sort of judicial system and how corrupted it is, and loopholes that I thought that was brilliant, showing showing us spotlight on them. I would love to hear how an American sort of critique will sort of take that aspect of the movie and how they would sort of speak on that, because it'll be fantastic to hear how true to reality it is. No, I guess, but so we're still looking from the outside in.
Yeah.
Especially for us in the UK. So I'd love to hear someone else's sort of pitch on that. Quick question. Would Daniel Kaluuya would have done a better job of this?
Daniel Kaluuya?
Yeah.
Again, he would have been great, but again,
Is it Daniel Kaluuya or was it? No, it was
it was John Boyega.
John Boyega.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, but for me, I do want to get into that a bit later on, that whole John Boyega aspect, because I want to kind of continue on with the review.
Go for it.
For me, I felt like the way Aaron Pierre as Terry conducted, the way he carried himself, the way his hand music, the way he kind of like held his hand, stuff like that, to be non-threatening. And the way he would use his physicality and stuff like that was outstanding. Very similar to kind of James McAvoy in Speaking of Evil, in a way where he uses his physicality in a way that served the film. You understand?
He served the purpose,
and for me, I felt like the dialogue was great. The way he kind of acted was fantastic. In scenes which were not action per se, he was fantastic. And I felt the way he portrayed emotion when the film turns, and that was outstanding. And for me, I think every performance in this film was outstanding. I thought outstanding. And Kem, you're gonna have to really do a lot to try and explain to me otherwise, because Don Johnson, fantastic. Emery Cohen as the main bad guy, piece of garbage that you hate so much, was fantastic as well. And again, I think that the set piece where he kind of he goes to the station, you know what I mean, once he needs the money back, when all else has failed, was just incredible, because the whole Wi-Fi kind of like exposition thing, you know what I mean, was great. That was a great scene.
It was a great scene. Look, okay,
not even you can deny that, Kem.
No, 100%.
And also for me, the way he was non-threatening. His hands were literally on his side, and he kept on walking forward. Let me jump
in there. That I have to admit, that was fantastic, because he was non-threatening even to the watcher until you realise the extent of how lethal he could be in that. So what he's doing, he was prepping that situation, and then once they found out,
going into pace.
Exactly, and when he says create distance between you and him, then you was like, oh, this guy's in trouble.
Because you know what was mad? Imagine being on the Wikipedia page
and you see him
on like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the military. It's crazy.
He said create space between you and him, and then he was obviously
knew
because of his physicality and because of his stature and because he was closing in, he was like, and then he was like, oh, he nearly scared me when I thought he served. I thought he had battle experience. It's like no,
because they're disregarding, because he didn't actually go. He wasn't deployed.
He wasn't deployed,
and they thought he wasn't.
So that was fantastic. In regards in that was amazing. I love what they did there. I wanted more after that. I think the utilization of his skills, especially combat skills, wasn't used as much as they should have, in my opinion. I think it was just bare minimum.
How so? Explain.
So you have that scene where he's shown how dangerous he could be. Yeah. And then after that, the next time you see him sort of use that sort of combat skill was in the third act, really. But then the in-betweens, I think there's too much, because, again, personally, so don't get at me, runtime was a little bit too long, because he kept on, he was like, no, I'm not going to help. Okay, I'm going to help. I found a conscience, I'm going to help. And then it's almost like the other movie that was talking about, Speak No Evil, putting yourself in a certain situation. Your cousin's dead. You've been paid off, and then you got to a point that he's like, you know what? I'm coming back to sort stuff out. At what point? For me personally, that switch I would have flipped the switch. It's from non-lethal to lethal once they've done that. Once he's committed to attack the police station, that's it, really. Because now he's gonna serve a bird if he gets caught.
To be fair, I do agree with you. There is a bit of bloat there. I do agree with that. But I thought the scene where after he's arrested and they're gonna let him go, and I forgot the actor's name.
The anxiety there for me. Yeah. That because are they trying to set him up?
Are they gonna kill him? Are they gonna execute him?
Yeah, no, that was
and
perfect.
I thought it was very interesting. I forgot the actor's name. I think something Dunham or something like that. Who was in the office? He was in the car with them, and when he gets into the car, he goes to Terry. Hear him out.
I thought he was the scumbag from the beginning. I thought he was going to be like the.
No, but it was always going to be Emery Cohen. If you know anything about Emery Cohen, the actor, he's always going to be the scumbag character.
Okay,
in any film,
because he was the one who initiated everything from the jump.
Yes, from the jump.
Yeah.
And for me, that scene and the way it kind of was slowly bubbling and building, and he's explaining kind of like respect and kind of like saving face and all that kind of stuff, and when he gets to the hospital and goes, this is very important now, uncuff him, because this next part is very important that you're uncuffed to this. And that I'm literally sitting up in my seat now thinking, what the hell is going to happen here? And then you can hear the helicopter in the background go, that's your bird. I'm thinking, what's that about? And I'm saying, and then when he explains it to him, and you can see like Terry like literally going through every gamut of emotion. It's just outstanding. That was an outstanding scene, and you could see the shotgun have like to protect them and stuff like that, and the bag of money being thrown. It's an outstanding scene, and it really kind of adds this kind of real stakes to the film. And I was thinking, yo, we got a real film here. And Jeremy Saulnier, while doing interviews and press, kind of compared this. Basically, said that the comp for this film was Rambo's First Blood and Michael Clayton. So Michael Clayton is basically a kind of
Yeah.
legal detective kind of thriller,
Yeah.
and First Blood is First Blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I thought that was a fantastic kind of
Yeah.
comp for it. And for me, I really did love the kind of like detective aspect of this film, and hence the reason why I compare My Guy Terry to Batman. You know what I mean? Because
I
there's
get
a detective element and also
the non-lethal.
Yeah.
I get that, but I needed the lethal in this one. I needed it felt justified for what they put him through, and
But the legal recourse for once you kill a police officer, Kem, there's not much going back from that.
I
so
know.
Come on, bro.
I know.
makes sense for him to kill, not to kill.
yeah, but I think it would have made the movie. Again, you know the crazy thing about this, like, it gave a sense that he had nothing left after he lost his cousin. So he had nothing left to go back to. That's what that's how I felt. He had nothing left.
No, but again, he spoke about the relief that he had an out.
No, I
where
know.
he could leave and stuff like that.
I
so he
get
could get
that.
on with his life
But
after the army.
but then once he's done that, and he was like, you know what? And I thought, when we spoke about sort of a contingency, that's when I wanted that flip. I thought, you know, all bets are off. Kill everybody. Seriously, for me, it would have been a better movie, even though it's a brilliant movie.
It wouldn't have been realistic.
Yeah, but realistic out the window.
To kill police officers is not like 'cause again, the thing with Jeremy Saulnier films is the films are always rooted in, you know what I mean, in reality. You know what I'm saying? And there's a real kind of stakes.
Yeah, I get it.
Again, if you watch Green Room, which in my opinion, check out my Letterboxd review, 5-star film, Green Room.
Okay.
Blue Ruin,
All
another revenge thriller.
Let me ask a question.
Film.
So James, I want to hear your opinion on was it Summer McBride?
Yes.
Please tell, what do you think, like, in regards to sort of how they've just met and are willing to sort of like throw everything out the window just to sort of help this stranger, on both parts.
Yeah.
Like that was that.
So number one, she's seen the kind of corruption happen over a longer period of time,
and she's been part of that. She's been affected that personally.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I think it all tracks because again, when they're in the courthouse trying to find the kind of like the cards, for the
badge, the cameras.
Yes, the kind of GoPro footage. Like she knows the whole kind of courthouse because she's someone who's previously had substance abuse issues and been in the court system quite a lot, and she's someone who's building towards kind of getting a legal kind of qualification, stuff like that, and it all works. It all works, Kem. And I thought the performance was fantastic. I thought the fact that she wanted to help was fantastic. I thought she had one of the funniest kind of lines in the film where when Terry's getting patched up by his kind of like the person he's kind of connected with, Mr. Lou. And I thought that was a very interesting little kind of like side story within the film, a quick aside, thinking there's a whole kind of different universe in this film. I'm not saying there's going to be like a Rebel Ridge 2, but it would have been interesting to kind of understand his relationship with Mr. Lou and his kind of buddy who code switches when he's on the phone and all that kind of stuff. I found that very interesting. And obviously when he mentions, he was a field medic in Korea. And go, thank you for your service. No, he was on the other side for the Chinese. That was hilarious. Oh, it's great that we could all be, come together. I thought that was very funny. But for me, I thought a great little action set piece was when they tell him to leave town. He doesn't leave town, and Emery Cohen's character kind of catches up with him. They kind of cut him off on both sides of the road, and then he throws the gun in and tries to shoot him and kill him. I thought that was so well done when he starts kind of like electrocuting him, kind of tasering him kind of thing. And then he drives off and stuff like that. And then the main kind of like third act begins. Obviously they were meant to meet on Rebel Ridge. He doesn't do it because he's, you know what I mean? He's already kind of outsmarted them, being at the station already. Outstanding film, man. And I thought specifically once they're at the station and he's right there at the mercy of them, and then so smart because they've lost the only evidence they have, which is the cards. Emery Cohen's character starts literally destroying them. And I'm thinking, what's going to happen next? Again, there's always peril. There's always, you know what I mean? It keeps you on your toes, and that's what's so great about this film.
It does, but
it does it in a way that it's so smart.
I felt
and so like the ingenuity of like the ways that Jeremy Saulnier's script, which is so like great in terms of like, all right, we've reached a kind of dead end here. How is he going to get out of it? But somehow they get out of it.
Let me jump in. I think he puts himself in situations where he don't need to put in regards to sort of trusting people that he hardly knows, especially the woman, the black lady in the black police officer. He put himself in a situation to trust her to then get caught. But then obviously because at first
what do you mean get caught? When?
At the second time when he was at the station.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she pulled a gun on him again. But when he, obviously, the first time he done the whole station thing and then get caught, and then you realize it's by design. He was meant to get caught, wanted to be in the same prison as his cousin. Yeah. That was by design. Yes? You understand that bit?
Yeah.
Okay. But then at that point, I thought, is he trying to get caught by this woman again? No, and then realizing, no, he's just putting too much trust in her and her sort of flipping the script and then turning over, then now trying to arrest the bloody chief and stuff like that. It's like, again, that's what I meant. The movie could have been 10 minutes short to avoid all of that because it happened more than once. Ultimately, it's a good movie. It's a very good movie.
So I just want to quickly just talk about that last kind of main action set piece at the station.
Yeah.
All the cars surrounding, stuff like that. And the fact, the race to kind of get the dash cam footage and keep that footage.
Yeah.
And protect the officer who had just been shot while also saving Summer, who had just been drugged by the Emery Cohen character. Second time who's been drugged by him, which is crazy. You know what I mean? But again, the second time wasn't her fault.
Second time.
Come on, Kem.
It's the second time. It happened already. Let's do it again just to prolong the movie. Yeah, second time.
So you've really woken up the wrong side of bed today, haven't you?
Yeah.
So that kind of like that kind of whole section where he's literally using all kind of great kind of military tactics and literally demolishing guys, throwing them around, ragdolling them, real top quality Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and really giving those knives of elbows to Emery Cohen and yes, let's go. Really giving
a shot would have sufficed. I'm just saying. Go on.
And I thought it was fantastic. Really, really hurting these guys. You know what I'm saying? Which was fantastic. Really outsmarting them. And eventually, like, once you realize, you're thinking, oh my God, are they not going to get out of it? And then obviously, then the female officer is the one that actually saves the day.
The pit stop maneuver.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that,
You know what I mean?
But again, it's just like, second time, now she's realized, okay.
Yes.
Come on,
and I love the fact that, again, the thing Jeremy Saulnier is always great at giving us an ending which is satisfying, but at the same time not giving us all the answers. And I thought this was a perfect ending as well.
I didn't like the fact that it finished there. Because when he went,
you wanted them all to Don Johnson to go to the prison. You wanted to see all that rubbish, yeah? Then the film would have been way longer, and then you would have been complaining about that.
Exactly,
ridiculous.
But the thing about when he went and took the actual the recorder outside the boot of the police car, and then sat down, then what? People could still come and get you.
No,
why not?
Because he's in the
hospital.
Yeah, hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, but
and he's got the footage. You know what I'm saying?
He's physical footage. Yeah. It's not on the cloud. So if somebody comes and remove it from him, what then? No, what then?
Nah, bro, they weren't gonna go into there because then that means they have to shoot. That means they have to shoot up the hospital in front of the
Not necessarily. There was only one or two other police officer that was willing to sort of hold out on. Anyway, look. It was a good movie. I'm not gonna be too critical.
You keep on being critical and then saying it's a good movie. I'm not gonna be critical.
It is a good movie. But you know what? His head's big. You know, he's got a very strong head. Do you not think?
Ridiculous from you. That's ridiculous. You're just hating now. You're just hating.
I'm hating. No, to be honest, it's a good movie.
So let's get into Aaron Pierre. Now, Aaron Pierre was obviously not the first person.
It's the first time I've seen him. You know that.
Really? Okay, you didn't watch Foe, or did you watch The Underground Railroad by Barry Jenkins?
Maybe I just didn't notice him.
Very good, different type of performance, but great performance there.
Yeah, okay.
I've been aware of him for quite a while.
Okay.
Great actor. I'm so happy that he's been in this and that he's getting the recognition he deserves. I think he's going to be a great leading man going forward.
Yeah.
I think he's not only a great actor, but a great action star as well. Physically, he's great. He's someone who already has like a kind of mixed martial arts background as well.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
And you can see that in the film.
Of course.
And I thought it was fantastic, and I cannot wait to see what he does next.
Yeah, no, I'm actually intrigued to see what he does next.
Yes.
But my only thing, like, he's got too much of a, even though he's stacked and he's like overbearing in regards to his physicality, but he's got
a bit of hate coming.
No. I'm just saying he's got like a very sort of pretty boy demeanor, very, very, very pretty boy demeanor. So it's like,
I would disagree. Again, no prettier than any other leading man in Hollywood, I'd say. Again,
no. Listen. Look, the guy's a good looking guy, but there's a certain, because obviously you know that there's a certain look he has that I don't think he could be in a darker role than this. I would love to see him in a really dark.
It's funny you say that. Kamal, because he is now been widely tipped, if Mahershala Ali doesn't do the role,
Blade,
to be Blade.
I don't want him being Blade.
Why not? It fits because Blade is someone who was born in Soho in a brothel. So Blade is canonically is someone who's British. So it would work. Don't you think so?
I don't want him being Blade. I think I've already cashed my chips in for Mahershala Ali. Really? Because I really want to see him do that role. I really want to see him play that role.
I'm fine either way. You know, I mean, I've got love and respect for both brothers. No. So I'll be happy either way.
I wouldn't want to see that. I think.
So you wouldn't want to see that?
Not him.
Interesting.
Not him.
Interesting. But that shows though, because again, many people are saying that he should also be James Bond potentially.
Nah. I'm okay.
But Broccoli's would never do that.
I want to see Aaron Taylor Johnson. I want to see him try it first. Because as I said, I've already committed my chips in regards to Aaron Taylor Johnson being Bond, whether good or bad. I want to see that attempt first. Okay. Mahershala Ali being Blade.
Yep.
I think he will be a great sort of like he'll be a great side piece to a Mission Impossible. No. Hear me out. To a Mission Impossible. I don't know in what capacity, but definitely on the...
Kem, the reason why I say all these things is to show you that the town is basically gearing this guy up to be a leading man going forward. You know what I'm saying?
Look, they tried it with Glenn, what's his name? Glenn Powell.
Which is working. He's going to be right.
I don't think so.
They're doing a remake of the classic Running Man.
You know what? I don't think that's going to be successful, but I'll give it a watch because I have to.
You say that.
Honestly.
Twisters was successful. You know what I mean?
Barely.
It did numbers.
But I'm talking about like as a movie itself. I'm not talking about as a movie itself. There's only so much you could do with Twisters. Twisters was it's.
Kenny,
let's move on.
All right, let's get into this. Let's get into the final part. So John Boyega was originally cast in this film.
Yeah.
He even was there for about, I think, 2 to 3 weeks of production.
Yeah.
And then subsequently left without.
No. Apparently there was family issues.
There's family issues. There's also other kind of corroborating stories that it was something else.
Yeah, of course.
But again, I can't say anything to that. But for me, what I wanted to ask you, Kem, is do you think this movie would have worked with John Boyega?
No. Not after I saw it. No. I think John Boyega has a different sort of demeanor. It wouldn't have been one of power, like a dominating power, like especially in regards to his physique and sort of the martial arts sort of background. The martial arts sort of background of the character Terry was convincing with his stature and how he's built is, and I don't think John Boyega could have carried that out. Could have played. I would have loved to have seen what
that would have looked like.
It would have looked like. I don't think he would have played. It would have been done well.
For me, I have to agree because I cannot imagine this film with anyone else apart from Aaron Pierre. I thought, again, I really liked him in Foe. He was the best part of that movie, and I did not like that movie. I saw that last year's LFF, and that I really did not like that movie, and he was the best part of that. So seeing him in this, really, really holding this movie in the palm of his hand and really, really taking it forward to a point where I think this is one of a great film of the year, honestly. And this might creep into my top 10. I think it probably will be in my top 10 if I'm being honest with you here, because the film is so smart, so well done, so well shot, so well acted. Again, it's just one of those films where, for me, one of my favorite genres in film is thrillers. And this is a fantastic thriller with a kind of detective aspect where my guy is basically Batman. Let's go.
The detective aspect of it wasn't that
Come on.
big.
Wasn't
that big. It was barely
James Cromwell's also in this film. Great to see him in this film as well.
Yeah, but it was barely any detective work, really.
Yes, for them to work out why the police are doing what they're doing.
What's her name? Summer McBride. She was more detective than he was. But anyway, that's that. But ultimately, again, let's rate this movie, man. Because
go on, Kem.
I'll give this an 8. I really liked it.
There you go. That's what I want to hear. Yeah, this film, I have to agree with you, Kem. This is an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
A really great film from start to finish. The only critique you could have is a critique of length.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
The runtime should have shortened.
It's a deeply satisfying film, a great thriller, a great cerebral film that will make you think. You can come away.
I don't think it's one of those movies that'll make you think. No way.
100%, and it'll make you think because you go away thinking, goodness me, civil asset forfeiture is one of the worst things I've ever seen in America. One of the worst things in American law. You know what I mean? It's completely an erroneous thing to be law. Something that is deeply unfair and is something which targets people of color.
Yeah.
And it's something that should be completely, abolished.
Yeah. But
hopefully this story plus also a great New Yorker article that was written a couple of years back in regards to which I read after the film.
Shine lights on this situation.
And shining lights on this situation and stuff like that. So again, hence the reason why this film makes you think.
It's relevant. It's a relevant movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So again, guys, thank you very much for listening to this very, very kind of hotly kind of debated review of Rebel Ridge, directed and written and edited by Jeremy Saulnier. Great film of the year, and I urge you to watch it again if you get a chance, because on the rewatch, for me, I got so much more out of it as well. But in the meantime, please like, we call it comment, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. Road to 1,000, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Please follow Kem, follow myself, follow Mo. Let's go. Huge things are coming, guys. Huge things are coming. We've got a couple of announcements coming up soon as well. So watch your space, please. And we will see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.